Please adhere to YouTube selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during video. All actions are performed by professionals. Alright, so today I'm going to be drinking a can of alcohol until it's gone. Why? Well, because today I want to drink some alcohol. I want an entire can of alcohol and I want to get a buzz. I don't want to get drunk, but I want a really heavy buzz, and I want a heavy enough buzz where it's going to warm me up just a little bit, because it's a little bit chilly out here today. It's currently about 35, 36 degrees. It's not quite freezing temperatures by any means, but it is a little bit windy out here. I am a little bit cold, and I'm definitely thinking if I could have a little bit of alcohol to warm me up just a little bit more so than not, that I would have absolutely no complaints on my behalf. Hence why I want to drink a can of alcohol until it's gone today. What I have with me today is a White Claw Surge Blood Orange 8% hard cider. I've had one of these before, enjoyed it previously, and I do suppose without further ado, I should probably go ahead and crack this can open and go ahead and actually get to, well, drinking this entire can of alcohol until it's gone. How long will it take me to drink this entire can of alcohol? I'm not sure, but I'm guessing probably a little bit, because this is, what, 568 milliliters? It is a tall boy can, without a doubt. Without further ado, though, let's go ahead, see if I can crack it open. Oh, man, I'm trying not to, pinch my fingers because they are cold, and when you pinch your fingers, when they're cold, it hurts so much. No biggie, though, no biggie. Let's go ahead, crack it open, if I can. Just like that. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get to drinking my can of alcohol that I'm going to be drinking until it's gone. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of alcohol in there. Nothing too much crazy going on, though. Really, the flavor is just that of a slightly orangey sort of water, carbonated water. It's really what the flavor is like, but there's definitely a little bit of alcohol hit in the back of my throat at the very beginning of the alcoholic beverage. And my can is very, very, very cold. It's been in the fridge, and now I'm outside in basically another fridge. And so as such, I'm gonna put my gloves on. My hands are freezing. I really should have thought to bring out some hand warmers out here as well. I didn't do that. I should have brought out some hand warmers, but ain't no cold is gonna stop me from enjoying my alcoholic beverages. The cold cannot stop me, unless it's I would say negative 40 with 40-mile-an-hour winds. Honestly, at that point, I think I'd much rather just not be outside in general. I think I'd just be drinking inside at that point, but thankfully, that's not what the temperature is here. I have 76 degrees until we hit that temperature. And thankfully, it is not negative 40. That would not be particularly pleasant. I'll acknowledge, negative 40 with negative degree, negative 40. Am I already getting buzzed? I'm not already getting buzzed. I'm just getting my words all jumbled up. I think I need some more alcohol. Man, my gloves are helping so much, though. My hands feel so much better. But what was I about to say? Yeah, negative 40 temperatures, negative 40 Fahrenheit or Celsius. It doesn't matter. That's kind of the point where they become the same temperature. With 40-mile-an-hour wind, bro, that's frostbite. You step outside for 2 seconds and your face falls off, I feel like, right? I can't deal with those sorts of temperatures. I'm already not very good at dealing with anything below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Or what is that, 10 degrees Celsius? Negative 40, yeah. I think that is actual, if you have your skin exposed to the elements in that temperature, it literally is your face just starts to freeze within 5 minutes of you going outside, kind of thing. I'm pretty sure, at least. I don't know a lot about what temperature you really have to hit to start losing fingers and toes and feet. But I'm figuring -40 with 40-degree wind is that temperature. It's probably, honestly, you could probably lose fingers and toes at the temperature I'm at right now if you weren't very careful and you were wearing shorts and a t-shirt outside for days on end. But it would be much easier to lose fingers and toes in -40 degrees. I would prefer not to do that, so yeah, if it got down that low in my local area, which would be crazy, if it got that cold in my local area, I would be drinking inside a sleeping bag. Inside with the propane heater on. Right next to my sleeping bag. Might be a fire hazard, but I'd much rather have a fire hazard than be cold, honestly. Although that's actually a really bad idea, because actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it would be better to not have a fire hazard and be warm. Excuse me, because, well, if you accidentally burn down your house and it's -40 degrees outside, then now you're outside at -40 degrees with no house. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that's not the moves. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to say I would move my propane heater a little bit further away from my sleeping bag just to make sure it's not a fire hazard. But I would still be in a sleeping bag, and I would have a can of alcohol, and I would be all bundled up in my sleeping bag with thermals on and stuff like that. I have like 3 layers on, and yeah. Besides the cold and besides the wind, though, it is pretty nice out here. The sun's kind of starting to set just a little bit. We got some ice on here, which is pretty solid in my personal opinion, you know. Just adding a little bit of a different sort of, I would have to say, look to a view that I'm very used to. And, you know, it's pretty nice. No clouds in the sky. It's just a solid day, frankly put. Sun's going to be going down in, it is currently 5:27. Sun's going to be going down in, oh my God, I want to say 7 minutes. I want to say 6 or 7 minutes, if I had to say. But it is a beautiful day out here. It is very pretty. I'm glad I've got my gator and my beanie and my hoodie and my jacket on. It is cold. I should probably grab a thumbnail before the sun goes too low, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Hopefully one of those will do. Excuse me. Whew. I gotta admit, though, it is warming me up. It might be cold out of the can, but once the alcohol flows into my bloodstream, I do start feeling a little bit warmer, which is a positive in my personal opinion. And I definitely am feeling a little bit warmer than I was at the beginning of this video. But I'm still feeling cold. And so, you know, I think I need something else to warm me up. I need one of these. That's what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? I need one of these. And I should probably also grab this out as well. Probably gonna need that. Can I get this open and one of these out without taking my gloves off? I think that's the real question. Can I do that? Oh, I don't know if I can. Oh, maybe. Oh, yes, I can. No complaints on my behalf. Let's get it. And let's try to warm up a little bit more. This is not sitting on the table, though. If I need to use this again, if I let it sit on the table, it will no longer work. Because cold lighters don't work. I always leave them in my pocket so they have the body heat to keep them warm. Whew. It is actually quite chilly out here. Like, I was sitting outside, like, last night in, like, colder temperatures than this, and I honestly was chilling. Like, I actually was, like, just chilling, just relaxing, in all honesty, and just enjoying a beverage. And granted, my beverage I had last night was warm, while I was chilling out here in even colder temperatures than this, so I definitely think that was helping a little bit. But I wasn't even wearing gloves, and it was colder than this. But I really think it's the wind making it colder. The wind really is in cold weather. It really is your enemy, frankly put. Like in the summer, having like a nice breeze is like such a nice thing because it keeps the mosquitoes off of you, gets the humidity away from you, kind of thing. But in the winter, it's like, I just want it to be still all the time. I don't want any wind at all during the winter. It's like, oh my God, it's so cold. But my local area is definitely more windy in the winter than it is in the summer, which I think is pretty standard. I think that's kind of how it is at most places, but I could be wrong. Maybe there are places where it's on average windier than it is during the winter. Where it's windier during the summer on average than it is during the winter. I'm not sure. But I think we'd have to take like hurricanes and typhoons out of that kind of thing. Like if we take like tornadoes, hurricanes, and typhoons and stuff like that, and just like tropical storms in general out of that, then I don't know. Like my area might like be on average windier during the summer, like than the winter some years, but that would just be because we got hit by a particularly bad hurricane that particular year, kind of thing. What I find interesting is how hurricanes and typhoons work. Now, I don't know a lot about hurricanes and typhoons. I'm not an expert on the subject by any means, kind of thing. But I think they're pretty neat, kind of thing. Just the whole system of raising warm water up, and then kind of it falls back down, and then it comes back up again, and then they kind of peter out once they hit the cold water and stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool. But what's really interesting as well is just how they spin. Like, hurricanes spin one way and typhoons spin another way, and that's what the difference is between them, I think, right? I could be wrong about that. I'm not an expert, as said. But I think they're pretty interesting, and I think the whole ecosystem of hurricanes and typhoons is just really interesting as a whole, and just how they work and operate. But my question is, in my area, we get hurricanes, and I've heard it's because we have the Gulf Stream kind of running off the coast. So we have the Gulf Stream, and that's why we get hurricanes rather than typhoons. Whereas, let's say in like Japan, you get typhoons because the current is kind of going the other way, I think, maybe. I'm not exactly sure how it works, in all honesty. I'm not exactly sure why one develops and the other doesn't in certain areas of the world, kind of thing. But what would be very interesting is if a typhoon developed over the Gulf Stream. Like, I figure that's definitely happened before. Like, there's no way a typhoon hasn't developed over the Gulf Stream before. I don't know when that would have been. I don't even know what the likelihood of that happening is. But I figure it's happened before. But that would be very interesting. Yeah. I can definitely say, though, my drink is warming me up. I am getting through my drink. I'm like halfway through it, I would say. But I am still cold. I am still very cold. I decided not to wear thermal socks today for some reason. I was like, I probably won't be spending that much time outside, so I'm not going to wear thermal socks. I should have just worn thermal socks anyway. I'm wearing sneakers right now. I'm not wearing boots. I think that's really, honestly, one of the deciding factors for like why I was so warm, like when I was sitting outside drinking a drink yesterday. And I think it just comes down to the fact that I was wearing thermal socks and boots, whereas today I'm wearing not thermal socks and sneakers. I should have planned ahead a little bit more so than not. But my priority, what I had on my mind, was alcohol. And so I was like, you know what? I need to just put on my shoes as fast as possible so I can have some alcohol. Excuse me. I might be cold, but ain't no cold is going to stop me from enjoying and appreciating my alcohol. It will stop me from noticing some of the intricacies. Just because I'm so cold, I'm distracted from noticing the intricacies. But it ain't going to stop me from enjoying my drink, that's for sure. And I am starting to get a buzz. That 8% do be hitting, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. But yeah, in my local area, we got an ice storm a couple days ago. And then we're getting like sub-zero temperatures during the night, excuse me, for at least the next week. It's gonna be a low of, I think it said it was gonna be like a low of like 16 degrees Fahrenheit in my local area tonight. Or what is that, like probably like negative 10 Celsius or something like that kind of thing. I don't know the conversion. I'm just guessing. But cold. Let me just put it that way. For my local area, at least, compared to some areas, of course, this is not that cold. But it is certainly cold. Like I was looking at like the weather map yesterday, and I was like, man, Iceland is warmer than this. The name is literally Iceland. The name of the country is Iceland. And they're warmer than where I am right now. What the hell kind of thing? Granted, there are volcanoes in Iceland, which I'm sure helps quite a bit. But also, how Iceland heats their roads, well, I'm spoiling what I was about to say. How Iceland makes sure there isn't any ice on roads is pretty interesting, because to my understanding at least, Icelandic roads, at least sometimes, I don't know about all of them, but some Icelandic roads have like pipes with hot water going through them like 24/7. So like during the winter, the roads never freeze over because they're always warmer than the outside air, because there's hot water coming from the geothermal like stuff, because a lot of the water in Iceland is heated up geothermally. And so it keeps the roadway warm, which is really interesting. And then that kind of tracks, I'll acknowledge, because I don't see any photos of rusty cars from Iceland. Like, I see photos of rusty cars a lot. There's rusty cars in my local area. Not as much as, like, let's say Pennsylvania or Minnesota or something like that kind of thing. But there's rusty cars in my local area. I'm like, my car was like a DC, Virginia car for most of its life. And it's got some rust kind of thing. And that's not that far away from me. And that's just because they use salt on the roads. It's not like a major amount of rust. Obviously, the previous owners definitely did care to not get it terribly rusty by any means, but there's a little bit of rust nonetheless. But, like in Iceland, you don't see any photos of rusty cars kind of thing, and I think it really is just because they don't use salt on the roads. They might be right next to the ocean kind of thing. It is an island after all, but I don't see no rust on cars. Maybe there's some sort of treating that a lot of people do with their cars there. I'm not exactly sure, but also I really do think it is probably due to the fact that I haven't heard that they use salt on roads there. I think it really is the whole water running under the roads thing, which is pretty cool in my personal opinion. It's not very doable for most areas. I mean, like Iceland's in a very unique situation. Lots of volcanoes, lots of geothermal, and stuff like that kind of thing. But I do think it is still very cool. Ooh, my hands are cold. Oh man. Ooh, I got cold on my mind right now. There's a squirrel out there. That squirrel looks cold. The squirrel's like jumping over the fence, or like jumping on the fence and like walking on the fence, and it's like looking, and I'm like, bro's looking for somewhere warm. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's going on. Excuse me. Oh. But, yeah, it's gonna be like 16 degrees Fahrenheit tonight. That's like the coldest, and I am probably gonna be going out. I'm probably gonna be going outside in the 16 degree temperatures to have one of these. That'll be like the coldest temperature I think I will ever had one of these in. It's gonna be chilly. Let me just put it that way, kind of thing. But that ain't gonna stop me. From enjoying one of these, that's for sure. I just hope the wind dies down. The wind is supposed to die down. I looked at the weather. This is like not even the peak for windiness today. Like I would have to say a couple hours ago, it was like 16 to 20 mile an hour winds. And I was like, bro, that is not it. That is not it kind of thing. And it was like 16 to 20 mile an hour gusts. Don't get me wrong. So it wasn't like constant, but still not it. Like it can be cold outside, but like the moment the wind hits you, you're a goner kind of thing. I'm gonna have another one of these. If I can. There we go. Perfect. Whew. Whew. My goodness. Oh man. I will acknowledge, I am very glad to have stocked up on alcohol before it got cold. I am very glad to have done that. Because I think everybody else had the same idea as well. So I'm glad to have stocked up on alcohol. Yeah, got this White Claw, got a cider inside, got a couple ciders in fact, a couple different ciders. Got like half a handle of bourbon left. Yeah, no complaints, no complaints. I got a bunch of other alcohol as well that I just haven't cracked open yet. It is, though, definitively, without a doubt, chilly out here. That is on the mind. I know I keep talking about how it's cold out here, but it is so cold that it's just like, I'm trying to think of other things, and I'm like, it's cold. I am getting buzzed, though. I'm enjoying my drink. I can definitely say without a doubt, I'm getting through it. I am getting through drinking my entire can of alcohol until it's gone. What can I say? You know what I'm saying? What can I say? Excuse me. Oh. Oh yeah, no, I'm actually, like, I'm just kind of like focusing on stuff now, and I'm like, no, I'm buzzed. This alcohol is getting me buzzed. I am buzzed right now. No question in my mind. I am quite buzzed. Whew. I'm buzzed. My goodness. I got no complaints on my behalf. Oh man. I do not deal with the cold very well. I know if y'all are from like Minnesota or Michigan, or from like the Northeast, like Maine or New York or Pennsylvania, you're probably thinking, man, 30 degrees with a little bit of wind, that sounds nice kind of thing. But for where I'm from, this is cold. This is cold. Ooh. Ooh. Gonna put that down for a minute. Excuse me. Ooh. Ooh. I'm buzzed. The 8% really does get you just so good, though. The 8% really does just get you so good. Sun's kind of going down, though. Still got a little bit of light out here. Not too bad by any means. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I am noticing, though, I don't think y'all are going to be able to see it, like, on the video on YouTube, of course, but my phone does not deal very well with these temperatures. Like, it'll continue recording, but it does not deal very well with these temperatures at all. Like, when my phone gets, like, cold enough, like, I've noticed, like, the frame rate on my phone drops, and I think that's starting to happen. Like, I'm moving my hand, and it's, like, not teleporting, per se, but like definitely the frame rate of my hand on screen has dropped in comparison to what it was when I first started this video, when my phone was a little bit warmer because I had it inside and in my pocket and stuff like that kind of thing. Which is interesting, I wonder if there's any phones that like just generate enough heat where they don't do that. I don't know if that would be very good to have like on a warm day though, but yeah, I don't think my phone was designed to be used to record in like 30-degree temperatures, which is not like actually 30 degrees right now, but it is like 35. But at what temperature will my phone just not work anymore? Will it just like literally freeze over and go, it's too cold? At what temperature will that happen? I'm guessing probably like 10 degrees. I'm guessing probably 10 degrees Celsius is when it just freezes over and just won't work anymore. Just not designed for that temperature, that's for sure. Almost done with my drink though. Almost done with it. I'm buzzed. I kind of feel like I want to stand up. Ooh. Yeah, I definitely did want to stand up. Definitely standing up. I am a little bit buzzed, without a doubt. But that ain't going to stop me from enjoying the rest of my drink. I will still certainly enjoy the rest of my drink. Oh man, it's cold though. It's cold. I can't get the cold off my mind. I'm just cold right now. But I will acknowledge I would much rather be cold than be warm, sticky, and be getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. That is true. I do enjoy my warm-ish weather. Like I like my ideal weather for like drinking outside is like anywhere between like 65 and 75 degrees. But like it has to get to like 45 at night so like mosquitoes don't come around kind of thing. But like 65 to like 75 degrees Fahrenheit, that's like, I would say, the ideal drinking weather outside kind of thing. Like all the way up till 85, but like 85 is a bit much because of the mosquitoes, but like, excuse me. Oh man, that burp hurt. I just had the tiniest burp and it like hurt my chest. It is what it is. It is what it is. But, whew, I think we've got one or two more sips left. I might as well go ahead and take them, shouldn't I? I should probably go ahead and take them. Oh, excuse me. Is my water freezing over? I brought some water out with me. It's not freezing over yet. It's not freezing over yet. It's not quite that cold. Same with my alcohol. My alcohol is not freezing over. Thankfully. Thankfully. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to drink my can of alcohol until it's gone. If it froze over mid-video, that would be horrible. And man, the frame rate on my phone has dropped so much. It's like gone down to like 24 FPS, whereas normally it's like 30 to 60. Or I guess it's not actually frame rate on my phone because the screen is more like a hertz, isn't it? I don't know how it works in all honesty. I don't know what my phone screen is hertz-wise. But it's gotten lower because it's cold. I can say that. My phone is a bit chilly. Relatable. I'm a bit chilly too. But it's still recording, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters because I gotta make sure I finish off my entire can of alcohol on video. So it would kind of be bad if it stopped recording after all. It would kind of be bad. The goal of this video is to drink a can of alcohol until it's gone, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I think I've got one more sip, and then my can of alcohol will be gone, though. Oh, no complaints. That was all I had to my alcohol. That was all I had to it. I have now finished off my entire can of alcohol. I have drank my can of alcohol until it's gone. I have accomplished the goal of this video. I'm cold. I'm gonna go inside, I'm gonna warm up, and I'm gonna have a great rest of my day. And I'm gonna find out how having one of these in a 16-degree temperature tonight is gonna be. I'm gonna have to find out a little bit later. But yeah. Appreciate y'all watching today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching today's video. I will acknowledge, even though it is a bit cold, I had a great time drinking my can of alcohol until it's gone. I had a good time making this video today, and I hope you guys had a good time watching. If you guys did, like, subscribe, check out, excuse me. I just had some burps. The carbonation definitely getting me. And just the alcohol in general is definitely getting me as well. But appreciate y'all watching today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. As said, like, subscribe. Check out everything in the description down below. To the next one, stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?